Softmax Attention is powerful because every query can compare itself with every earlier key. That same freedom is why a long sequence costs quadratically. The surprising question is not whether we can approximate the exponential with a kernel. It is whether the exact attention update is already hiding a linear memory rule. This article follows that clue all the way to gated DeltaNet. We will separate what is an identity from what is an approximation and keep the dimensions visible so every transpose has a reason. Fix one query vector q at time t. The causal attention output is a weighted average of values v1 through vt. The weight on value I is an exponential of the dot product q with key ki divided by the normalizer zt, the sum of all those exponentials. A dot product is a scalar compatibility score. The exponential makes larger scores dominate. The denominator makes the weights add to 1. If keys and queries live in r to the dk and values in r to the dv, then the output also lives in r to the dv. Now, center the keys by their prefix mean. For a small centered logit, the exponential is 1 plus the logit, and the reciprocal normalizer has the matching first-order correction. Because centered keys sum to 0, the denominator correction cancels. The resulting weight is approximately 1 over t times 1 plus q, dotted with ki minus the mean key. This is a local Taylor expansion around a uniform distribution, not a claim that every attention logit is tiny forever. Substitute that approximate weight into the output and collect terms. The first term is the mean value, v bar t. The query-dependent term is a matrix multiplying q. That matrix is the average of value times key transpose minus the outer product of the two means. The whole output is a dv by dk state times q plus the mean value. This covariance-like memory is a variant of the earliest vanilla linear attention, or VaLA. We have linearized the readout, but we have not yet earned a delta rule. There is a more revealing route. Keep the softmax exact and separate the last item from the prefix. The old numerator is zt minus 1 times the old output. After division, the new output equals the old output plus alpha t comma t times the prediction error, the new value minus the old output. This is not an approximation. It is an exact identity for one fixed query. The increment has the shape of a delta rule because a new observation corrects an old prediction. Here is the catch. At position 1, we need the answer for query 1. At position 2, the answer for query 2, and so on. The recurrence is independent for each query, so query t runs through all t keys. The total work is 1 plus 2 plus 3 and so forth up to t, which is order t squared. This is why the article calls softmax attention a square complexity RNN. A recurrent update alone is not enough. To become linear, the state transition must depend only on keys and values, while queries appear only in the final readout. The next move is narrower than the VaLA approximation. Instead of approximating every alpha t, comma I, approximate only the newest weight, alpha t, comma t. Its first-order value is 1 over t times 1 plus q, dotted with the centered newest key. Plugging that into the exact delta-shaped recurrence gives a mean update, a new value update, and a rank 1 correction. The burden is smaller because only the diagonal of the causal softmax is expanded. One factor is approximated, not the whole table. There is a second way to see why the diagonal route is gentler. Every old attention weight can be factored into its own diagonal weight, multiplied by a chain of 1 minus later diagonal weights. A direct first-order expansion of one long exponential keeps 1 plus a plus b. Factoring first gives 1 plus a times 1 plus b, which also contains the cross term ab. Those cross terms are interactions between time steps. The factorized view explains why preserving products can make the approximation more faithful. Now, impose the target form that would make one pass enough. Output at time t is at times q plus bt. A is a dv by dk matrix, b is a dv vector, and neither may depend on the current query. Start both at 0. Substitute this affine form into the approximate recurrence and sort by powers of q. The constant part gives a simple moving average, so bt becomes the mean value. The matrix part is where the derivation becomes interesting. The residual still contains AT minus 1 times Q. The residual is value T minus B, T minus 1 minus AT minus 1 Q. Multiply that residual by the centered key transpose and then by Q. The AQ term creates a product of two query factors. The left side of the affine ansatz allows only a constant and a first-order Q term, but the right side has a second-order term. Exact separation is therefore impossible under this ansatz. This failed algebra is useful. It tells us exactly what must be approximated. We need to replace the query inside the residual while keeping the final readout query untouched. The simplest repair is to declare Q small and drop it inside the residual. Then A updates from the centered value residual, value T, minus the previous mean, times the centered key transpose. Unrolling gives an average of rank 1 residual updates. It looks like a new online rule, but a telescoping identity proves it is exactly the same VaLA expression as before. This is an important negative result. A cleaner recurrence is not automatically a stronger approximation. If we want gated DeltaNet, we need a principled substitute for the residual query rather than simply erasing it. Before choosing the substitute, recall what a delta rule actually does. Let a matrix S map a key K to a predicted value Sk. Given a target value V, the squared error is 1/2 times the norm of V minus Sk squared. The gradient with respect to S is minus the prediction error times K transpose. A gradient step, therefore, updates S to S plus beta times V minus Sk times K transpose. Rearranged, it is S times identity minus beta KK transpose plus beta VK transpose. The rule erases what the key predicted and writes the new value. Return to the residual query. Replace it with a fixed vector C. The approximation error is alpha t, t evaluated at Q, multiplied by the difference between the old output at Q and the old output at C. Choosing C equal to the current query makes one location exact, but the state must serve future queries too. The article therefore asks for a worst-case compromise. Where can the newest attention weight become largest? Make the residual exact there, because errors are most expensive where the newest token receives the most weight. Under the first-order diagonal approximation, alpha t, t is proportional to 1 plus q dotted with the centered newest key. Its increasing direction is the centered key itself. Without a norm constraint, the dot product can grow without bound, so there is no finite maximizer. The article makes the minimal practical assumption that query and key norms are comparable and chooses q star equal to kt minus the mean key. This choice makes the residual exact along the direction that most favors the newest token, while leaving future queries free to be served by the shared state. Insert that centered key substitute into the matrix recurrence. The residual becomes value t minus the previous mean minus at minus 1 times the centered key. Expanding the outer product gives two pieces. First, the old state is multiplied on the right by 1 minus 1 over t times identity minus 1 over t times centered key transpose. Second, a new centered value is written with 1 over t times centered key transpose. This is the decisive reveal. The state forgets and erases along a key direction, then writes the new value along that same direction. The standard gated DeltaNet recurrence writes a state, st, as the previous state times alpha t times identity minus beta t kt transpose plus beta t vt kt transpose. Compare it with the derived rule. The article's gates are tied to 1 over t, and its keys and values are centered. Standard gated DeltaNet learns or predicts its gates and usually absorbs scaling into normalized keys. One expression multiplies the forget scalar across the whole bracket, while the other puts it only on the identity term. That placement can be reparameterized. The architecture is the same family: gated retention, key-directed erase, and value key write. The final output keeps the current query in the readout. Output t equals at times qt plus the running mean value. The state A is d v by dk, so each token updates a fixed-size matrix and performs a fixed-size matrix vector product. That makes the scan linear in sequence length, with constant work per token for fixed head dimensions. Softmax Attention instead forms all pairwise query key scores. The derivation has moved query-dependent work from every recurrent step into one final readout per position. The mental model is compact. Exact Softmax Attention has a delta-shaped causal identity, but one independent recurrence per query keeps it quadratic. Approximate only the newest weight. Seek an affine query-independent state. Replace the residual query by the worst weighted centered key direction, and the update becomes gated DeltaNet-shaped. The price is visible. Taylor expansion, bounded comparable norms, centered statistics, and a structural rather than empirical equivalence. This article is a derivation and a design clue, not proof that every task or every scale can replace Softmax Attention without loss. The question to carry forward is which query dependence belongs in the state and which belongs in the readout.